What's the cutest story you know of how a couple got together? My mother has always been very academic from a young age. My father was certainly not academic but a good worker. My dad also came from a difficult background and he and his sister were in foster care since they were young. They were also physically mistreated by the foster mother they had for 12 years. My parents were friends since they were children and they took each other to the Debs. A few months after Debs they started hooking up. One of these hookups resulted in me. My mother was 17 and my father was 16 at the time. She was in her first year in college and was doing very well. My father was after recently being placed in a new foster home with a much nicer guardian. He wasn't going to finish school and had a plan to drop out as soon as he got a job. When they learned my mom was pregnant, it was obviously a bombshell. My mother has been very open with me in her considerations of terminating me before she told my father, as she thought she'd be doing it on her own and on minimum wage. She and my father had a talk and decided they would keep me and decided right there to be in a relationship. They basically already were anyway. My mother completed her first year of college and then gave birth to me. Both my parents still lived separately that summer. My mother decided to keep up college, even though it was 3 hours away. My 17-year-old father took me to live with him and his foster parents. He stayed on in school, as he wanted a backup plan in case his idea for his own landscaping company failed, all while raising a baby. My mother would travel down every weekend to see me. She said those years were the hardest of her life. As I was growing up, they presented me with every opportunity they knew of. I was involved in various sports clubs. I played piano since I was 4 and my father even learned basic French and Irish so he could help me with my homework because he never had any help. This is the same guy who hated everything to do with school and still struggles with basic maths. They have since told me they often didn't eat, as all these things cost so much and they were barely stable back then. My mother completed her degree in anthropology and has been in good jobs ever since. My father completed school even though he hated it and immediately went to work as a farmhand, eventually building his own landscaping company from the ground. I am now 20 years old and my parents have given everything for me. I also have 3 younger siblings aged 11, 8 and 5. My parents' new friends are always shocked when they find out about the much older daughter and calculate mine and my parents' ages in their heads. My parents are still madly in love. They have really good jobs and a great social circle. You couldn't meet two people who are more different and yet they somehow make it work. They broke every stereotype possible when it comes to unplanned teenage pregnancy and I couldn't be more proud of them.